Mic'd up.
In everyone, and welcome to Highlights from Lowlifes. This is episode 16.
Already?
Tonight's topic: the top 5 worst rules in all of sports. And from what we can tell in the comments, when we say all of sports, you people are talking about all of sports. So we're getting some really wild ones out there. So looking forward to tonight's topic. Thank you to the folks at Mic'd Up for allowing us to do our show. Tonight, my co-hosts, I'm Rob Weber. You've got Rob Lannerman. You've got Marty Brown. And you've got Terry Lee. How did all this start? We're a group of friends from the Bay Area, play baseball together. And during the pandemic, we were looking for something to do to kill time. So we started having happy hours. And those happy hours evolved into solving world problems by coming up with our top 5 lists.
Yeah, see how well we did?
Yeah, everything's worked out just wonderfully. So we're several months into our time here at Highlights from Lowlifes on the Mic'd Up app, and we're excited about tonight's topic. So why don't we dive in? Starting with number 5. Marty, what is your number 5 worst rule in sports?
I don't know. The one rule that everybody gets wrong, from little league up to major leagues, and you see it all the time. Educate yourself on the infield fly rule. I'm not saying it's a bad rule. It's a good rule, but no one friggin' understands it. Anytime the umpire calls it, hell breaks loose. And people are running around like chickens with their head cut, and you see it everywhere. And we're especially bad. It's always fun in our league when it happens, because hold on to your shorts and we'll see what happens here. But at every level, people just don't know the infield fly rule. And it's you guys are the Robbies are the baseball gurus. It's been around for a long time, right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
But am I wrong?
No, it's not a rule that most fans understand or even care to understand. So maybe it should be changed.
Maybe people should just be educated. I mean, I'm talking players, because the players have no idea what happens either. So yeah,
right.
Yeah,
the reason is to keep the defense from a double play.
Well,
simple fly ball when nobody knows the runner on first doesn't know if he can run or not.
Exactly, and then what happens thereafter, and then it's simple. The batter's automatically out. Okay, fine. That's not the problem. It's when the runners are on bases that there's a problem.
I mean,
but
when
there
in
you
doubt,
go.
Go back to your base. That's really it. As a base runner, it's all you got to do.
Okay. But again, like I said, in our league and everybody else, here's the base coach going, go. So there we go. There's number 5. All right, Terry, get me out of here.
Well, I have actually 2 lists. The common list. And the uncommon list, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to cover the common list. I'm going to go with the uncommon list. Number 5.
All right, this will be our first cricket controversy.
Hang on, I need a spot of tea before we... Excuse me, a cuppa.
I'll get it.
All right, this is in the world of tennis. It's called the hat and ball hindrance. If your hat falls off or the ball comes out of your pocket, it's a do-over. So you cannot, if the hat falls off that you're playing in, or the ball comes out of your pocket, they stop the play and it's a do-over.
What's the ball doing in your pocket?
Well, you usually have two, and because
Oh, okay.
I mean,
you
yeah,
get
serve.
two
All
balls.
right.
medically
you get
speaking
two
and all.
birds. You get
All
two
right.
balls each
I never seen a show get edited so damn fast as ours.
in the service. You know, before you serve, you have two balls in your pocket. One in your pocket, one to serve.
It never gets old.
Hey, Terry, you're not getting out of this, so just stop now.
Yeah, you guys get it. That's my number 5. Robbie?
All right, my number 5. It's one of the reasons I don't like the sport, and this would be the
Ooh.
extra time rule in soccer.
Ah,
Run the clock. Ball goes out of bounds. Stop the clock. Start the clock. It's not that hard. It's terrible for the fans, and it seems really arbitrary that the referees are. We know, and nobody else needs to know how much time is left. It just bothers the hell out of me. It seems stupid as puck, and
In all
yeah,
other sports, it's part of being a spectator.
yeah, you should be able to see the clock
You're
and
watching this clock tick down, and you get it. It builds.
builds the tension and the player. I mean, you at a certain point you go for broke, and you stop worrying about defense, and you have to be on the attack and see if you can't make a miracle happen and all of that. Just that whole concept of some other guy knows what the time is, but I don't, seems
Right.
really.
And that's in a live match.
Yeah, absolutely.
On
Right.
TV, the clock is ticking away, and you just
Yeah, it's
watching
just game's over, but we're in extra time. Like, what the hell is that extra time?
Right.
Come on.
I used to referee football, and some of the biggest disasters we got into was when the stadium clock went down, and we had to keep it on the field, and then it just with timeouts, and it just I concur 100%. Yeah.
Yep.
Can you
Hate that
concur
one.
20% or 30%?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you?
you can.
You can. Okay. For the record. All right. Thank you.
I mean, I agree a little bit with that.
Well, I concur that it's a real tie, not a clip-on. About 90%. 90% it's a clip-on tie.
One for Tiger. Okay.
10% it's a real tie.
All right.
I very much agree with Rob. That was on my list too.
Yep.
How can a sport with a clock hide the time left from both the fans and the players?
And I'm sure the TV sponsors really love that.
Yeah.
And the dogs don't like it
dogs,
either.
agree.
All right, my number 5. Marty, you're a football referee, correct?
I retired. Yes. Yeah.
You have retired.
Yeah.
For years, I've hated this rule in college football. You can be down without contact from the other team. If you slip and fall
Dead ball.
or trip,
Yeah.
you're down. You haven't been tackled. The other team hasn't touched you, but the ball is down there. Why? What possible reason?
Gravity.
It's arbitrary.
Because you hit the ground. There.
The other team didn't stop you, and I think it would be more exciting if the other team got to play the game and you just didn't trip and fall and end the play. I just have always said, why not make it so that guy can get up and keep running, and maybe we'll have a more exciting play than him tripping and falling. So that's my number 5.
But it is fun to watch these guys just fall from.
It would still
easy
be
for the
fun,
refs.
Marty.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Especially if they could get up and keep running.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow. Well, why do you say that in the first place?
All right, number 4. Worst rules in sports. Robbie, what's your number 4?
I got so many to choose from, but I'm going to go, especially now with the rule changes in baseball. I'm going to go with the balk rule. And I understand where it developed from and why it's there. Nobody, like Marty was talking the infield fly rule. Nobody understands the Bach rule.
Mhm.
It's pretty subjective. And now, if you can only throw over to first base 2 times, and they have the gigantic bases, it seems like we should just eliminate the Bach rule. Deceiving the runner ought to be at least a weapon of the pitcher. It's just in the current state of the game, it seems archaic now at this point to continue to limit pitchers from being able to do anything they can to defend their field, defend the base runners. So
Yeah.
I think with the way the rules have changed, it's time to look at that Bach rule again.
Yep, I agree. I've struggled with what a balk is. It's different for every umpire.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking the pitcher, as you say, they need more weapons now because they've had a whole bunch of them taken away from them.
Right.
So
Right. Absolutely. And there's some guys their natural windup looks balky to me, and other guys that, because of the way they throw, anything that they do that varies from that looks like a balk. So it's just weird. It's yeah. It's time to look at that and eliminate it.
yeah, yep, agreed.
Terry.
All right. This is on the second list again. Number 4 is in the polo world, the horse polo world. Only right-handed players can play. You can, in other words, you can only swing the mallet on the right-hand side.
How much studying did you go into this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is deep stuff, man.
I
sure
guess,
were.
yeah.
Were you up all last night?
Well, maybe. Maybe.
There's a reason why we call him a mallet head.
The explanation is that it's too close to jousting, and if you had a righty and a lefty coming at each other, they would crash into each other. So only right-handed polo players.
Well, don't you want to increase viewership? I think that'd be a good idea to have them see them every once in a while, see it crash into each other. Just like NASCAR, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why only go one direction? All right. Number 4, Webby, did you go?
No. Let's focus on golf, a sport we all love to hate or hate to love. I can't remember which one it is. My dad was quite the golfer. Spent his life, that was his best hobby. Collected all kinds of things and played almost every day. And I would always question some of the rules, and he never had a good answer. He would just yell at me and say, "That's the way it is." And one of them,
actually, that explains a lot, really.
Yeah, yes. That's how I want to raise my kid. That's the way it is.
Let's be serious. You're not having kids at your age.
So, one day I'm in the sand trap and I want to take a practice swing. And he yells out to me, you can't ground your club in a hazard. I go, why? And you know what his answer was? Because that's the way it is. So apparently, when you're in the sand trap, you cannot touch the sand trap with your club. You can get ready to swing,
or it's a penalty.
Take a swing at the ball, but you must hit the ball. You can't take a practice swing. You can't set the club behind the ball to get ready for your swing. You must hold the club slightly above the sand before taking a swing.
And nowhere else on the golf course does that apply.
Well, any hazard. So if you were in some kind of area that
so for instance, they have those dry bunkers that run along a fairway.
Exactly.
Same thing. It doesn't have to be sand. If it's considered a hazard, you can't ground your club there.
So
You've been around Marty's golf swing. It's a hazard.
yeah,
Well, I was going to ask,
he doesn't take practice swings anyway.
does that include the windmill hole?
yeah.
The hazard is the parking lot in that case.
So I'm of the understanding that rules are in place so that I don't get an undue advantage. What is my undue advantage? Setting my club in the sand.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. So I think that's my number 4. That's a dumb rule.
and they're trying to speed up
All
the
right.
game.
So Marty, did you give us your number 4 as yet?
No, he did not.
I don't
can see by his face.
Oh. Now tell me if I'm wrong. It's a baseball rule, but I have to go back to hockey to explain it a little bit. Hockey, they want to have someone win the game, so we have extra time, and then we do the shootouts. That's fine. But in the playoffs, we're back to a real game, and we're going to play this thing as long as it takes to get the game over. Let's go with baseball. I understand now with these new rules and everything, we have to make it a softball game if we go into extra innings.
Courtesy runner.
Thank you. Yeah, that was they used that bloody rule in the playoffs, right?
No.
Was it no?
I was
Only in the
wrong.
regular season.
It was only during the okay. All right, then okay. So
Just
I
regular
thought it was
season play, no playoffs or World Series, correct?
All right, I should have watched a little. I was drinking too much, and I should have watched But anyway, one of the other new rules is this way is that the automatic walk. Oh, come on, we can't. You're a professional pitcher. You can't throw the ball 4 times. I mean, I know we want to speed up the game. All right, so let's cut the commercials between the innings, exactly. Or any of that kind of crap.
MLB gets another 30-second commercial in there.
Yeah, I mean, but anyway, they're taking away baseball as baseball. But anyway, I'm an old man. What the hell do I know? I just whine a lot. So.
All right. I think we have completed round number 4.
Oh, thank God.
But what happens next, Rob?
Well, it is time once again for What You Drinking, one of our favorite segments. And I'm going to lead off with a viewer call-in on What You Drinking. This is a regular contributor to our show, JC.
What you drinking? Appropriately, Almanac True Kolsch. Back to the original.
Well done. And that leads us right into Almanac Brewing, the continued
Prost, guys.
Continued sponsor of the Highlights from Lowlife show. They haven't gotten rid of us yet. We're all drinking Almanac, one of California's, actually the country's finest micro brewers. They're based in Alameda, California, and the Almanac Love Hazy IPA is what they're famous for, but we all really like a lot of their other things that they make. I'm drinking the Almanac Porch Light Lager. Like I always like to say, like a moth to a light. I enjoy this beer. What are you mooks drinking?
You know, I'm drinking the Almanac True Kolsch also.
Ah, nice.
It is, it doesn't need to brag to make a good impression. Cheers.
I got the Flow, the West Coast Pale IPA, and to tell you the truth, it was a live taste test. I don't like IPAs, but this is really remarkable. They got a full. If you done, it's got a full hop bouquet, but then you drink it and it goes down really smooth. There's not that bitter hoppy aftertaste. It's an excellent beer. Flow West Coast Pale Ale. Excellent.
I found it very refreshing.
It's a great beer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, That leaves me again.
Oh no.
I am because I have several cases of this in the house, and I need to power my way through it. I'm drinking the Almanac Distance to the Sun
Distance to the sun.
sparkling ale. This is an ale brewed with passion fruit and pineapple. It's fruity, tart, and juicy.
And you feel like you're in Hawaii.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Thanks.
Speaking
All
of
right.
juicy, Big Juicy jumped in with a what you drinking moment.
What you drinking? Well, I'm going with the Flow West Coast Pale Ale from Almanac. Love the hops, Simcoe and El Dorado. Nice blend, big juicy flavor, and smooth drinking. You might even call it the new age mellow yellow.
Nice. Big Juicy. Nice work. Cheers,
Man,
everybody.
And we got one more. I think this is directed specifically at Mr. Weber's sparkling ale.
Weber, I'm telling you, you need a rum floater with that one.
Anyway, thanks once again to Almanac Brewing. And you're in Alameda, stop by and visit them and say hi and tell them you've seen the highlights from Lowlife Show. They might give you a pity beer.
Ooh.
Is that all? Is that all it takes?
Yeah. Well, if you watch this show, you probably deserve a couple of beers. You need a pop or two to get through this.
A couple of almanacs.
All right. Well, hey, back over to you, Rob.
All right. We are into round 3. Let us start with Terry.
All right. My regular list is boring. My special list is way better. Canadian Football League.
Yeah.
Oh, they just had a great
God, I just lost $5 to Marty. I bet that you were going to go with curling.
Canadian Football League. If you miss a field goal, you get 1 point.
Right, you put the ball in the end zone. Yeah.
Yeah, crowd doesn't like that either.
What's it called? 1 point.
I don't know. What's it called?
A rouge.
A rouge.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
It sounds like a participation trophy, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, that's like getting. It's like in the NHL.
Canadian Football League rule, Terry. The fact that 2 teams in an 8-team league can be called Rough Riders. That's my point.
Is that the Calgary Rough Riders?
I don't know.
I could be wrong. I'll look it up.
Oh, they're just having a good time up there, eh?
It's like the NHL. You get a point for losing. I don't get that either. Marty, number 3.
This rule cost me $2,000 the other day.
Oh,
yeah. Not last Monday night, but the Monday night prior, Buffalo and Denver. Buffalo finally went ahead and gave the ball back to Denver. And because of the NFL pass interference rule, there was a 45-yard penalty that put Denver in position to kick the winning field goal, causing my team to lose. And I was within the final 4 with 160 people to win $2,000. What a bullshit rule.
So it seems like every week.
We're sorry. Your call cannot
the NCAA has a right. It's 15 yards. If it's blatant because you did it 45 yards down the field, then you're going to add 15 yards to it. But to give them half the length of the field by throwing the ball intentionally short so the receiver can come back and run into the defensive back. What a bunch of crap. Oop, I'm getting myself in trouble again, aren't I?
That's right. And we have a theme here on the show, Marty. It
We
seems
do.
like you get really angry when something costs you money.
You think? That shoot, God, that does seem to be a common thing. I lose a lot of money around here. Dang. Robbie,
By the way, Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Oh,
Saskatchewan.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
I correct myself.
That's Saskatchewan. That's in Canada.
Yes. Sorry.
Kind of weird when the Rough Riders double up on each other, isn't it?
Oh God, here we go.
It's like the Trojans versus the Beavers, you know. I didn't say anything bad. It's true.
All right. I'm gonna go back to soccer.
We all wish you
again,
would go back to soccer.
this is another reason why I and most Americans have a real problem with the sport. And Ted Lasso, I thought in one of the very first episodes, did it brilliantly. What is wrong with this sport? In the middle of the game, the referee calls offsides. Coach Ted Lasso runs over and starts yelling at the referee, offsides, offsides. How is that offsides? Tell me, how is that offsides? And then he drops down the tone, after doing the outraged coach thing. He goes, no, seriously, I don't understand. How is that offside?
What is offside?
Explain that. I don't understand offside. And it's the dumbest rule that you can't be over the center line if the ball's not over the center line. Like, play good defense. Let's if you want to go risk reward and put a guy, take him away from your defense and put him down on the other side of who cares? Let's play ball. None of this crap about he's offsides. The guy's got how many times? And probably not that many since none of us watch a lot of soccer, but
Yeah.
we've seen it before where a guy's on a breakaway and it's offsides. Here's going to be an exciting play and they kill it because some other guy had his foot over the line. It's ridiculous. It's a dumb rule. And it's kind of in hockey too. I understand hockey's a smaller rink and multiple line passes and all of that stuff, but it's still the same thing where you just lose the opportunity for some really exciting moments because you have to wait for everybody to get back over the line so then you can go forward again. It seems the opposite of what you want to create in your sport. So
Yeah.
offsides,
In hockey, they're trying to eliminate the cherry picker. But
Yeah.
but again,
that's it. That's
you
the
want to
only
lose a
reason.
guy at the other end of the ice so he
Yep.
can hang around down there. Who cares? That's let's go. Let's play.
Yeah. And don't the defensive players in soccer, cheat up or move around to make that guy offsides or
Yes.
whatever. Yeah, like I
Yeah,
said,
the
going back
defensive
to Ted Lasso, well, I don't understand it, but I mean,
Yep.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, great point.
Yep. So let's get rid of offside. Just in soccer, especially in hockey, let's look at it a little closer.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Who feels like going next? Oh, don't all go at once.
I win already.
Well,
and now I have to clean up this room. So
We'll go to Rob because he's pulling the Horseshack move.
ooh.
All right. So all you guys, most of you have met Wendell Kim. I know Rob has. I know Terry has. Marty, you ever meet Wendell?
I met him once. Yes.
Yeah.
WK.
Well, he has since passed away, but he and I were good friends. And I'm bringing up this next topic because we used to play golf together. And one of the rules of our outings was there was no silence in golf, meaning you could do whatever you wanted to intimidate the other person.
So it's kind of basketball for golf.
Yeah.
You could yell, you could scream, you could pass gas, you could sneeze, cough, whatever you wanted to do.
Wow.
And
Get in a foursome with Bip Roberts and Tiny Felder. We played with Tiny. We were in a foursome with Tiny Felder.
Yep. Tiny doesn't believe in that rule either, but I think that's less of making it part of the game and more that he just doesn't know how to be quiet.
It was a fun day.
So Wendell's whole mantra was, why why do you have to be quiet in golf? I mean, every other sport you need concentration, and you don't have to be quiet for that. In fact, in many sports, you have to deal with the crowd noise. So why couldn't that happen in golf? And why couldn't it happen with not only the fans but your competition? Wouldn't
Because
that
the
become
because the
more-
volunteer with the quiet sign has nothing to do.
Nothing better to do.
Quiet,
and
please.
usually the guy holding up that quiet sign is blocking your view of the shot that you want to see.
The
Anyway.
putt. That's right.
So I've always asked, again, I ask my dad this, Dad, why do you have to be quiet in golf? And he just gets outraged. And what did he say again?
Because
That's
that's
the way it is.
So that's my pick for this round. Is I want to get rid of silence in golf.
I remember being at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am and Mark Grace, like a couple of bad holes. By the third hole, he's like, Christ, guys, I'm a baseball player. Let's make some noise. Like, I need some sound. I need noise. And then he had a pretty good round after that. He had to have the crowd, like, he needed that ambient noise in the background.
Yep. All right, Sarah, have you gone this round?
I have CFL 1 point for
All right, so is that everyone?
not making it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we have completed round 3. We are off to round 2.
Round 2.
Marty, let's start it with you.
We can stick with the NFL, and they've cockeyed and butchered. See, I'm being
Nice.
and
nice.
butchered and amended and codified. And what's roughing the passer anymore? It's not a tough. You can't have his knees. You can't adhere. I mean, you know,
You can't body slam him.
you can't.
There's no
might as
heavy
well
rain.
put the quarterback in a tutu and have him just bounce around the field. I mean,
you
I'm
can gently adjust his collar.
Okay. Yeah, or pat him on the head or something. Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, he's got a helmet
But
on.
I mean, and
What more protection does he need?
right. You know, if you don't want to get hit, don't handle the football.
I mean, there's a certain logic to that, Marty. Yeah.
Yeah. Really? You think so? Hey,
Yeah,
hey, all right.
I know.
Oh,
As the
look.
words were coming out of my
But-
mouth, I was like, "Oh my God, what am I saying?"
Did you catch that? Marty just adjusted his clip-on tie.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
that
there's also the quarterback slide.
right.
Yeah.
Now he's
Fall
down at the
down, you can't just dogpile him.
So are you saying you're in favor of dogpiling a sliding quarterback, Terry?
I think Terry's.
Wait a minute. Hold it. Wait a minute. Yeah,
It's a it's a
Wait a minute. This is a family show. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
Or
by
it
the
was
way,
until about. Oh well.
And I want to let you know you can't say caca because Telemundo might get mad.
Whatever. Get me out of here.
Right. Okay, I'm stuck on golf, guys. I just think there's so many stupid rules in golf.
I think we should have full contact golf. Next time
Well,
we're
yeah.
playing full contact loud golf.
So this is one of my pet peeves. It doesn't affect me on a regular basis, but in the professional and amateur sports, in the tournament, your round is not complete until you've signed your scorecard. And if you fail to sign your scorecard, you are disqualified and everything is thrown out. Can you imagine having to do that in other sports? All the players have to sign their scorecard.
Yes, golf clap.
I would wonder how many of those guys could actually sign. That would be one problem. But
Yeah. Well.
the other problem is we've just seen somebody play an event. There's plenty of judges to see what happened.
And
There's
and
17
witnesses.
17 cameras on every hole.
And
I feel like they could do the math.
And if
yeah,
you make a
why does
mistake on
somebody
your card,
signing that scorecard, why does that matter? We know what happened.
if you make a mistake on your card and sign it, you can be disqualified for it.
If you don't sign it, you can be disqualified.
And
Let's say
every
you forget.
every television broadcast has the score up there.
Exactly.
Do you really need to?
Well, even the
Yeah.
scoreboard
Record
on the
your own.
golf course itself has it.
That's right. The guy will walk in with the other volunteer with the other sign that says "Quiet, please. Here's the score."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There you go. You've done it twice, Terry. You said quiet, please, and here's your score in one. You've got two of my top 5 right there.
You are disqualified, sir.
I think maybe it's an autograph collector's scam that they want to want to have plenty of inventory to jack up the prices.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. Robbie,
Hey.
what do you got?
All right. Before we go on, we got a response from one of our viewers about noise in golf.
Oh yeah.
Webby, if there's no noise in golf, then the 16th hole at the Phoenix Open would be a disaster. And as it is, it's pretty fun.
So he's absolutely right. I've done the 16th hole at the TPC. I've never been on a golf hole before where I've had to slosh through the fairways and it's not water, it's beer you're walking through.
All right.
I think we'll just have to sit on the 16th hole.
So, all right. So I'm up number 2. I'm going to go to basketball.
Ooh.
And it's not so much the rule, it's the lack of enforcement of the rule. It kills me traveling. If I could take the steps that those guys take, they'd call me magic. It's ridiculous. And the Euro step thing where now we were all taught basketball, and if both feet leave the ground and you come back down to the ground with the ball, that's traveling.
Yeah.
Right? Steps without dribbling the ball, that's traveling. So they have that Euro step move now where the guy's feet leave the ground, come back down to the ground, and then they take another 2 steps and go for a layup. And somehow that makes LeBron James the greatest player of all time. And that was traveling when I was taught the game. So I don't understand.
Do they still call ups and downs?
No.
Remember they used to.
They don't even call palming anymore. You watch those guys come down the court and they take 3 steps before they turn the ball. And it's just the enforcement of the traveling rule and its variations are just, it's frustrating as hell to watch. I mean, I know it's exciting for the fans and the way some of the guys go to the basket with the ball with power and dominance and all of that stuff, but they're doing it because they're getting 4 steps, and it takes away some of the beauty of the game, moving the ball around, getting a few passes and hitting the right guy in the right spot at the right time. So yeah, just not enforcing that rule drives me nuts. And as a byproduct, the 3-second rule they never enforce either. It's kind of a joke. So anyway, but that's just me ranting now.
What else is new?
All right, Smarty Marty, what do you got?
I made a disaster out of roughing the passer, so that's okay.
Oh, that was your number 2? Wow.
Yeah.
It feels so long ago.
Terry, did you go?
I did not.
All right.
My number 2. This is amateur. This is amateur softball.
Ooh.
A home run equals an out. Home run over the fence equals an out.
Yes.
I mean, I agree. It's not a home run derby, but how about the field over in Sunnyvale next to the freeway? If you hit a foul ball, it's an out. Where's that field, Webb?
We're all baseball players. None of us play softball.
If you hit a ball,
so
I played in the Silicon Valley League. If you hit a ball left towards the freeway, it's an out.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Twin Creeks, which is now a soccer complex.
Oh, is it Twin? No, it was right by the Mercedes dealer over in.
Go there for some extra time.
Anyway, you hit a home run over the fence and it's an out. That's a crazy rule. All right. Anybody else And number 2? That's a.
I
That,
think
that
we've all
rules
gone
a-
number 2 on this one.
That rules a number 2.
Big time. Big time.
All right. Before we get to number 1, thank you, sir. I just need 3 minutes of your time, everybody, and that includes my co-host, to get through a little promotion for. Rob's not going to listen. Get through a promotion of the other shows on the Mic'd Up platform. First of all, to get the Mic'd Up app, you can get this on the Android or your Apple devices, and it'll work on phones and tablets. It's quick to sign up. It's free. And if you provide an ID, you can leave us comments that we will play on the air. You can leave the comments before or during the show. After these shows are over, they will show up on within the app as raw footage that you can play back. And we've got, like I said, we've got 15 other shows other than this one. We also have a YouTube page with our archive shows, highlights from Lowlifes. We have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram page. And please sign up and follow us. Pretty soon we're going to have some merch. You guys can all have the highlights from Lowlifes
Clip-on tie?
modeled after Marty Brown. So this is coming.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yep, I do.
Oh.
I do.
Oh, it's popular.
All right, so we've got some other shows on the platform. First of all, at 4:00 today, Jim Darby did his Bears in the Big show. It's a bi-weekly show where Jim talks about Cal Bears who have gone on to play in the big leagues. Jim is a former Cal graduate and Easton sports executive. He's got great stories about his time at Easton and about his time working with Mizuno. Has stories to tell about Pete Rose, Joe Montana, John Elway, all the folks that he worked with over the years. And he's written a couple of books. Very great storyteller. Look for him at 4:00 Pacific on Wednesdays every other week. Okay, we got Bip Roberts, former major leaguer Bip Roberts, has been off the platform for a little while. We're going to get him back on here relatively soon.
Good.
He does a show called Bip's Blips. He talks about his playing days and the current baseball atmosphere. So he's pretty well kept up on the game, and he's great at answering viewer questions and comments. So look for his show in the upcoming portion of the Mic'd Up app. We've got Craig Giannino, former CCS Coach of the Year in baseball. CCS is Central Coast section. It's the high school section in the San Francisco Bay Area. But Craig is actually coaching in the Cape Cod League right now. And his specialty is the player mindset. So he's got Coach G and the Elite Mindset show on the Mic'd Up app. So look for that one. Just had a great show over the weekend called Hall of Fame Conversations. It's hosted by John Rieger, who's a teaching PGA pro, and Barry Smith, a former NFL player. And they interview folks that have been elected to the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. And they just had a show, I believe on Monday, where they interviewed Wade Boggs. Great show. Wow. And Wade talked about his time with the Red Sox and the Yankees and the Devil Rays, if you remember, and how he got into the sport and how hard he had to work to get to the major leagues. Some great storytelling. So look for that in your archived apps on Mic'd Up so you can see the show. John and Barry are great at bringing in good guests and asking solid questions about what they're doing today. Rick Barry has a show on the platform. His host, Cyrus, will take questions every couple of weeks. Rick is still very much in tune with the NBA. and he's very much in tune with the Warriors. It's a great listen. He will answer your questions and give you his opinions, some of which you may not like, but that's what I like about Rick. He tells it like it is.
Yep.
You should see his show. It's called The Rick Barry Show, about every other week. Some friends of ours have joined the platform. They're called Yankees Coast to Coast.
Well, they're really well loved.
Yeah.
So our good friends that we play ball with, Mike Miller and Adam Schneider, are longtime residents of the Yankees fantasy camp and have spent a lot of time getting to know a lot of the former Yankee ball players. And they are huge Yankee fans. And their first few shows on Yankees Coast to Coast have covered what the Yankees have to do to be better in 2024. They will soon have guests from the fantasy camp that with a little bit more insight. They are usually doing their shows on Thursday. There will not be one tomorrow on Thanksgiving, but they have one scheduled for the November 30th. I believe that's at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So look for Yankees Coast to Coast.
I like to call that show three guys all saying the same thing and yet somehow still arguing.
It's New Yorkers. Come on. That's what they do.
All right.
Got to tune in to see that.
Yeah.
Let's get to round one of the worst rules in professional or amateur sports for that matter. All right, I'm going to do an unpopular one. I will tell you this before I start in on number one here. The group of us went up to Santa Rosa a few weeks ago to the Snoopy Ice Rink.
Yep.
To see the Santa Rosa minor league
Growlers.
team play the Sin City team. Marty? What was the Santa Rosa mascot again?
The Growlers.
The Growlers. The Growlers played
the
the Sin City Kings, and I have to admit, most of us
Kings
were there.
as in Elvis.
Yes.
Yes.
We were there to see. We didn't necessarily think we were going to see good hockey. We thought there would be some brawls. Apparently, the Growlers have their equivalent of the Hanson brothers called the Davis brothers. But we ended up seeing a couple of minor skirmishes.
Oh, big hits on the wall, on the boards too.
Yeah.
Well,
they correct me.
But my number one worst rule in sports is I've thought for years that professional hockey needs to get rid of fighting, and that's probably unpopular for some, but in any other sport, if you fight, you're out of the game and you're likely suspended. In hockey, as they say in Slapshot, you go to the box and feel shame. There are guys on professional hockey teams, and their whole reason for being is to protect the star on their team,
the enforcer,
by fighting for him.
I love those guys.
Yeah, and I have good friends who are hockey fans, and they've tried to explain this to me, but I'm just not buying it. So that's my number one. All right, Chair, tell us about the worst rules of badminton.
I was thinking rugby.
And try to say shuttlecock while you're doing it.
Chanticleer. All right. My number one worst rule in sports are paid pros in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
So the rule is you can be 23 and under, and you can have 3 overaged players. Let's take basketball for an example. Also, soccer or world football is another sport that does that. It drives me nuts. The whole idea of the Olympics is that it's amateur athletes only, and they allow the pros to come in and play. And I get it. It's great to see the dream team. What was that, 1992? The dream team came in and kicked everyone's behind, and of course they did.
Yeah.
And we're all proud, but when the Russian judge gives a bad score, we're all in their face.
Yeah. Yep.
That's my number one. Paid pros in the Olympics. Robbie?
All right. My number one, this has chapped my hide for over 40 years now. It's
Who,
a
me?
dumb rule.
Me?
Yeah. I didn't say 90 years. I said 40
Oh,
years.
oh, sorry.
Is it your new nickname, Hyde?
Hide. It's an infuriating rule. The designated hitter rule. I have hated that since day one.
It is
I
not going
don't
away.
like that the pitcher can go out there, guys like Roger Clemens, throw a ball at a guy 5 times in a row, and Clemens never had to walk up there to the plate with a bat and face somebody staring him back down. A lot of the self-policing has been taken out of the game. And then all these aging guys who can still hit but can't play in the field, there should be a risk reward for that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to keep his bat in the lineup, you have to take the downside of his lousy defense. And I think that's part of the game, and that's just been eaten away. And National League took that on. And again, I know they're trying to raise the ratings and make the game more exciting, but it really just stifles the spirit of the game. And, everybody can call you a traditionalist and all of that, but no other sport, you're like, well, this guy is only a shooter. He doesn't have to play defense. Or this guy only gets this guy only catches passes. He doesn't have to block. There's no other sport where you can just run a guy out there to do half the game.
Oh, you mean like
the American League? They came in
Yeah.
to be different with the designated hitter. Why didn't they switch and take the designated hitter away?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Well, that's
why,
my point. Thanks, Terry.
But
that differentiated the two leagues, but
right.
It should have never
they
been
should
put
have
in
gone
the
the
first
other
place.
way. Honestly,
Yeah.
You know what they say? He's not a baseball player. He's a pitcher.
He's a pitcher. He's a hit. Yeah. It just
He doesn't have to hit. He just throws the ball and does nothing else.
Yep. So can't stand the DH. I didn't like it when I was only 8, and I didn't like it, and I don't like it now.
And let's face it, there's some of the
Yeah,
best athletes we know are pitchers.
Yeah, because you still can't field. I know. I can know why you didn't like it for such a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Webby,
we've gone through the group.
Oh, I was the end? No, Marty.
No.
Okay.
Marty.
Well,
Wow.
I have to do some last minute shuffling because Robbie, you took it away as a DH. So let's go to the top of the honorable mention. It is such an absurd rule in college football that Dr. Pepper, who does the commercials throughout the season, made fun of it. And that's the transfer portal. I don't, you're a star athlete at a high school, you get recruited, and you're not good enough to make the starting lineup. Do you learn from the experience? Do you go with the coaches to get coached up a little bit? I want to transfer. Okay. And there's guys in the portal have been transferred. Thank you. Year after year. He started at Alabama. Then he went to North Carolina State. And now he's here at What's the Matter You, our star quarterback. I don't care for the transfer portal.
No,
Did I make that? Did I make that? Did I make that clear?
Aren't they supposed to be there to go to school?
No, we all know that NCAA is a training ground for the NFL.
Come on, Terry. Were you there to go to school?
Cheers.
Good point.
You stop right through that. I'm amazed.
All right, we have reached the end of our.
One comment. I paid dearly to have those athletes go to the school I went to.
Yes.
That's true. All right.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt Rob again.
That's okay.
Sorry again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt. Don't
No,
interrupt
sorry,
Rob
sorry.
if you can help it.
Speaking of which, sorry.
Do you guys want to go through your honorable mentions, or do we want to get to? We should probably get to our guests.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
let's
get to
do
the
some
guests.
comments.
Let's hear what we got going.
All right. Avani called in.
Okay, my list of top 5 worst rules in sports are number 5, being disqualified by not signing your scorecard in golf. Terrible
Yeah.
rule. Number 4 is the second serve in tennis. Why do you get a second serve? You're at the pro level. You should be able to get it over the net in the first serve. So that's a stupid
good
rule
point.
to me.
Oh, okay.
Did you get?
It looks like this is a 3-part series. This is like Roots.
Number 3 is this new rule in baseball. 4 players have to have their feet on the infield dirt at the time the pitch is thrown. Why? I don't get why that's such a big stupid deal, but that's a new rule. Calling a walk without having the batter bat. You know, part of the strategy of baseball is being up there, and if you're going to pitch just walks, maybe the batter will hit.
Yeah.
No,
That's
those
okay.
are valid. Those are a couple valid points.
Yeah, and there's one more.
One more.
This is exciting. Yeah.
And my number 1 is the larger bases. I think it's absolutely ridiculous to have larger bases. And if you're going to increase the size of the bases in baseball, then you need to outlaw those stupid oven mats or oven mitts, because they shouldn't, the base is closer. You don't need the extended fingers there. And you're a professional baseball player, so you bang up your fingers. Get over it.
But it hurts. It hurts.
He seems angry.
Yes.
Those are valid points.
You noticed that was like a slow buildup over the
Thank you.
over the
Thank you,
three
Ronnie.
messages there.
She's usually like that. She's usually so angry.
All right. Hey, Big Juicy is back with his list.
And number 5 would be stoppage time in soccer. Just run a regular clock. Number 4, PGA golf. Having to walk the course. Should be able to ride a cart if you have to.
Yeah.
And number 3, baseball. The batter being awarded 3 bases or 2 bases if the fielder throws a glove, cap, or mask and hits the ball. It seems excessive. Maybe 1 base, get a base hit out of it. Number 1 and 2 coming up.
You know, the throwing your glove. If you jump up and your glove comes off of your hand and it hits the ball, that's a 2 or 3 baser, at the discretion of the umpire. But I didn't know that. I didn't realize that a catcher's mask can do this. Have the same penalty.
Pick the ball
I think it's a skill. It's a skill, and if you can catch the ball with in your glove without your hand being in it, that you should get extra points.
Yeah, I've never seen it happen. I've been playing baseball my whole life. But
let's check in on Big Juicy's top 2.
Finish Big Juicy.
My number 2 is offsides in ice hockey. It needs to get modified to allow contested rushes. There's too many times where an exciting play is whistled dead or a goal is taken off the board simply because a player's skate happens to be a couple inches in front of another player's skate. Number 1 is Destruction Derby. It really baffles me why, in most cases, you need to have a valid driver's license.
Yay!
That's hilarious.
That was great.
I'm glad we keep him around.
Yeah. We got a Wick checking in.
Hey guys, this is Wick from Danville. The rule that I object to is really a non-rule. Why in the world do they not allow instant replay on the helmet-to-helmet or head hits on NFL over the middle? No human eye can see that in real time. I'm support safety, defenseless receiver protection, all that stuff, but no human eye can see that.
Yeah. Who's the receiver that refuses to cross in the middle? Who is that? He's a
Ricky
pro.
Waters, right?
Is
For
it
who?
Ricky
For what?
Waters?
Yeah, there's been a number of them.
I gotta go with them on this.
You call my number. Don't. I'm not going across the middle. I mean, it
The
is.
typical NFL game is too fast for most of the guys that are out there trying to watch it and call penalties.
Yeah.
And if you hear something like that, you've got the cameras at the ready to go check and see what actually happened. Why not? You know, I agree.
Well, they stopped the game for everything
that
else.
leads to one of my honorable mentions, the NFL challenge rule. You can challenge a call that was made, but you can't challenge a non-call. Like the Saints lost a chance to go to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago with that egregious pass interference call. But
in
because
the championship
lack of,
game.
I should say, they didn't throw a flag, so there was no way to review it, and that's just ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We got JC checking in again.
JC number 5, stoppage time in soccer. When is the dang game over? Show everybody. Number 4, inbounds rule for football. 1 foot in college, 2 feet in pro. Why? 3, designated hitter rule. No comment necessary. Number 2, roughing the quarterback for breathing on him hard. Number 1, the ghost runner after 9 innings in baseball.
Yeah. Courtesy softball runner, yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Yep. Connor G.
Hey guys, here's one of the worst rules in sports, and this is a weird one, but in baseball, I always hate that a pitched ball that hits the ground can still be a hit by pitch, but it can't be a strike. And that just doesn't seem fair to me. I feel like once the ball hits the ground, that should negate anything that comes after it, unless, Ichiro or Vladimir Guerrero or someone wants to take a swing at it. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, does he mean the ball that bounces up in front of the plate and if you swing and hit it, it's still live?
Yes.
Or did he mean getting hit by the ball after it hits the ground?
I was volunteering years ago at a Little League game, and that literally happened. The kid threw the pitch, it skipped, went about, and it went through the strike zone, and the kid hit the ball, and everybody just stood there.
Yeah, they thought you couldn't do it.
And I had some training, so you're not supposed to. You're only supposed to yell foul, not fair, right? So everybody's turning, looking at me, and I.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody starts screaming, "Rob, Rob!"
Isn't the bounce ball a part of the game of cricket? You can hit that ball that hits.
I think in
bounces
cricket,
off the ground.
I
You're
think
just
it can.
protecting the
So
wickets.
you can hit it in baseball.
You
hit
can. Yeah.
You hit but to Connor's point, if I skip a ball and it hits you in the ankle, that's a hit by pitch.
Right.
That's
what I
think if I skip a ball and it goes through the strike zone, I think it should be a strike.
I agree. Sure, why not?
Okay. Dan Riley.
Love your subjects. Okay, number 5, down without contact in college football. Number 4, in the vicinity in baseball. Doesn't happen in any other base except second. Baseball coaches wearing uniforms. I'm a Raider fan. The Tuck Yule rule. And number 1, in baseball, that fence dimensions are different in different parks. What sport does that happen?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
We can go with the Canadian Football League, where the field is bigger than the NFL.
110 yards plus end zone.
Well, that's the only way that you can have the rouge. Then,
I guess so.
Plus, in the NHL, there's 3 or 4 teams that have ice rinks that are a little bit smaller, or larger than the standard.
Or if they play on Olympic ice, it's wider.
Yeah. Olympic is a lot bigger.
Yeah. Those are good comments.
Yeah, we got some smart viewers.
Before we get to our honorable mentions, I wanted to give a shout out to Jonesy, who's on assignment tonight, but did send out a text today reminding us all that the single greatest movie or TV show ever about Thanksgiving was the WKRP turkey drop.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Jonesy for reminding us how awesome that was.
That was such a great
I believe
episode.
what he did today, Rob, was let us all know that he was marked safe from the WKRP
Oh, yeah.
turkey drop on his Facebook status.
All right.
That's funny. What a great episode.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, honorable mentions.
Well, as I told you before the show started, I really, really don't understand why you can't make overhead throws in bowling. Think how much more fun that sport would be if you could throw overhand.
Well, there's also the two-handed bowler that's kicking everybody's butt.
Well, there's lots of two-handed bowlers, but they're still throwing underhand.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're 4 and they've got bumpers in the gutters.
Or the ramp.
All we need to do to
The
make
ramp.
this work, we need to put up nets on either side of the lane, 'cause some guy is unable to keep it on the lane. But I suppose they think the wood would get pitted after a while from all the balls flying out of the air. But that's my big pet peeve: overhand throwing and bowling.
Fair enough.
Well, you would
What do you
know.
got?
You're a league bowler for many, many years. Impressive. I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have two, actually. Baseball. Pass ball wild pitch on a strikeout.
Yeah.
What? I mean, I have you ever seen anyone get on base in the pros?
All the time. On a pass ball or wild pitch, and they make it to first base. Yeah.
Stupid rule. All right, here's a good one.
Terry says so.
Here's a good one though.
Here's a good one. in the world of chess.
Oh God.
They have a cleavage rule. You cannot unbutton more than 2 buttons on your blouse.
Okay, so is this both men and women?
It's a mixed tournament.
Marty?
No, my screen is frozen. I can't do it.
The clip-on covers the third button.
It's an actual rule in the game of chess. In the game of chess.
Yeah.
It's called the cleavage rule. 2 buttons. 2 buttons maximum on the, and somebody lost the game. A male lost the game to a female because of the cleavage rule.
Wow.
Yeah, impressive.
Not because she jumped his pawn.
That's my 2. Okay. Anybody else? Honorable mentions? Robbie?
I got 2. College basketball, the alternating possession arrow.
Oh yeah, explain that one.
It's another one that bothers me. You play really good defense, you tie the guy up, and instead of going to a jump ball like NBA and high school and every other sport, they go to the possession arrow. I saw, was it Mississippi and Kentucky? I think Mississippi lost a game to Kentucky because the possession arrow was on Kentucky's side. So let's have a jump ball.
Is it the little arrow and they flick it and it spins around and whichever color it lands on?
Well, last time you got the ball, so this time you get the ball. What a stupid rule. And the other one, it's another one that's not enforced anymore, and it I don't know why it bothers me, but it bothers me a lot. The on-deck circle in the coach's box in baseball. Those guys are the on-deck hitters are never anywhere near they're cheating as far as they can towards home plate to try to keep looking at the pitcher, and they're not in the on-deck circle itself. And then the coach's box, some of those guys are 10 feet ahead of the box or 10 feet behind the box. Like, if you're going to put
the way down the home field line. If
you're going to put the circles in the boxes on the field, make them stay in the circles in the boxes. That's what it's there for.
The batter's box circle, the batter's circle really just holds all the junk. The pine tar, the the weights, the sleeve, the heavy bat. You know.
There's no place to stand there. There's too much pine tar in the circle.
Yeah.
You know, you hear all this. You hear the stories in the 40s and 50s, like Sal Magley and Bob Feller and some of those guys. If the guy was cheating out of the on deck circle and moving towards home plate to try to get a look at his pitches, they'd fire one over there. He's like, oh, ball two.
Not a bad idea.
They'd fire one at the guy, and that guy'd be back in the on deck circle pretty quick. So,
yeah, it's contrary to what we're trying to say here, but I always thought of the batter now and always has the arm guard and this and that and this. If you're gonna have that in the batter's box, you should have to wear it all the way around the base. I mean, you can't just take that crap. If you want it, fine. I can understand why it's there, but you want to wear it. You're wearing it while you're on. You're wearing it while you're on base.
Yep.
Did I get a little off with that?
No, that's right in there. We're good with that.
Thank you. All right, good. Okay. Well, that's a first. That's a first.
Well, how much time does it take for the bat boy to run out to second base and get that stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
Or you're loading down the first base coach. I mean, in minor league baseball, I see first base coaches going back into the dugout with all this crap up there. They had a rally going. Yeah. But
all right. Any others?
Any more?
Anyone? Bueller?
Bueller.
All right, folks. I think we've come to the end of another episode of Highlights from Lowlife.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a great time.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you to Mic'd Up and Almanac. And we will see you next Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific.
What Almanac beer pairs with turkey dinner?
Ooh.
The cranberry sour Nova that is in Rob's refrigerator as we speak.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great night, everyone.